Oh. Good evening, friends. I was just so gobsmacked and surprised by the sudden silence that had descended. What wonderfully well-trained people we are. Good evening and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists, this bitingly chilly but upliftingly warm Thursday evening as we come together and unite in love, in friendship and support of each other in this winter of wetness, especially if you're from the Welney direction. And certainly it's a good idea not to drive lorries through Welney in this weather. It's all right, the microphone wouldn't have heard you from that distance, love, you're fine. But welcome one and all, and thank you for coming out in this diabolical weather that we are having. It is very much appreciated. And I know it will be appreciated by our medium tonight because, of course, as with every week, although to be fair, this is only the second week of 2024, but of course, every week we have a different medium working, unless it's the end moving forward to the beginning of the year, in which case you get a double repeat, but never mind. You get less repeats in Littleport than you do with your TV license. But of course, we do welcome back a good friend of this church. Please give a huge welcome to our medium tonight, Daniel Wright. Well, it's good to have you back, mate. It's good to have you back. And of course, welcome to everyone watching live online. We are truly an international church. Hi, Cherry. And everyone who joins is part of the family. And that is the most important part about this church. It is a family, united in coming together to raise the vibrations, to do what needs to be done, and also to have a good cup of tea afterwards, especially in this weather. Now, I'm going to start, of course, as always, with an opening prayer. And then we've got some notices, and then we'll say a few words. And then we've got the healing, and we may even have a reading. We have a reading, wonderful. And then we've got a demonstration of Mediumship. I was 10 minutes late tonight coming in to set up. I'm running behind. I apologise. But I'll get there in the end, even if I do remember to ask if anyone's got a reading during the service. There is lots to get through tonight, of course, as always. So, friends, let's join together and open this evening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and unite under a banner of love and hope and friendship. We ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present, the friends and the families that they represent, the loved ones that they are here to reach out to, and all those that they come into contact with, spreading a web of love across the world. And as we place this service in your care and keeping, we ask that the veil be lifted, that our loved ones might draw close and step forward. And so we make that commitment, affirmation, promise, and focus, Great Spirit, that everything we do is in love, truth, and light. Amen. Well, friends, I have got so many notices tonight, I've had to write them down, which, you know, is nothing to do with a really, really good shameless plug. It's quite handy when you've got your own notebook, which is available through Amazon, if anyone wants one, paperback and hardback, 300 lined pages. And the healing book will be available at the weekend. But by the by, I do have quite a lot of notices to get through. So, of course, we've got our workshop on Sunday. So if you haven't already put your name... Are you two all right being on camera? They don't trust me to get the time right, do they? Thank you, Barry. It is appreciated. Keep them up because I ain't said them yet. Can say you did have them. You did have. Oh, you're prepared for next time as well. Excellent. So we have our workshop on Sunday, and it is. Oh yeah, they can still see me, Josh. There you go. There they can see Daniel now as well. I don't know what I've done with the mouse. Oh yes, I bashed the screen, didn't I? So that's going to get me all night now. We have our workshop on Sunday from 10:30 till 3:30. Thank you. And it will be with lunch. It's £15 and it's here in the Village Hall, and it is always on the second Sunday of every month. On the third Sunday, so the following week. See, I can't quite read that one. From 1 till 10 or from 10 till 1? From 10 till 1. The other way around it. From 10 until 1, we've got the White Feather Drum Healing Shamanic Circle, which will be in that room over there. If you'd like details, of course, see Eunice. On the subject of White Feather, they've just started doing some outreach work and have been invited to do a demonstration at Cambridge Spiritualist Church on the 30th of January, 7:30? Is it? 7:30. See, that was without Barry's prompts. So from 7:30 at Cambridge Spiritualist Church on the 30th of January, the White Feather Drum Healing Shamanic Group will be taking over. They've been invited to go over and give a demonstration and explain what it is that they do. And I think it's wonderful. And if I'm available, I shall definitely be popping along. So that's something else to look forward to as well. Again, if you want any more details, Cambridge is sharing the details on their Facebook page, but also you can speak to Eunice as well. We now have an online evening circle, which started last Tuesday. That went rather well. Everyone was enjoying themselves. As hilariously fun and uplifting as ever. And that is at 7:30 on Tuesday nights via Zoom. And once again, the details are on the church page for that. I am aware that I need to organise a time for the workshop and the debate. It hasn't been forgotten. It will be at the end of the month as per usual. And also to let you know that our medium for next week is Emily Major. So that's another, she's never served here before, but we do speak a lot on the internet. And I have seen her work before, so I know you're going to be in for a good treat with Emily. And one final thing to say. On the 31st of January at 10 at the West Chapel at Cambridge Crematorium will be a service held to say thank you, Godspeed, and be well to our friend Peter. It is going to be at the West Chapel at 10, and then after, in time-honoured tradition of Mandy and Peter, there'll be a right old knees up afterwards. And that will be at the Foxed Pub. Now, everyone is welcome to attend, of course, either or both. But if you are going to come to the wake, please can we all coordinate either through myself or Mum so we can give Mandy a number so that she can organise things from her end. It's probably safer to do the coordination through Mum because I won't have Barry waving his numbers at me. But yeah, if you're all right to take a list of names for that, Mother, that would be great. Just so we can pass on to Mandy so she knows what's going on. And I've got to say, I think it's really important to celebrate people's lives. Not just on a specific event and date like that, because that day is hard enough as it is. But I was coming to that. But you see, we are so linked in because what I was about to say is, but if you know what's good for you, you will celebrate life every day. And then we must all say, okay, if anyone doesn't understand what we're on about, it's the Weetabix ad. Are we having Weetabix at the pub? Darling, anything can be arranged. I can do a collection and get a whole caseload. Did used to work in retail. But celebrating life should be done every day. It is always a new beginning. And we spoke of this about resolutions. So I know I'm going to be banging the same drum, so I'm not going to, because the drums are going to be banged next Sunday and on the 30th. But when it comes to life, it should be celebrated and enjoyed and uplifted, because we are luckier for being around each other than not being around each other. We are more uplifted by having a joyous, fun-filled, humorous focus than any philosophy. Funny where I'm getting that from, but we've got two dogs running around. Hello. You enjoying yourself? You can't get in the kitchen unless you're very, very good. Hello. Hey. Because life matters. Do you want to come up? No, she really doesn't. I'm running away to my mummy. But this is the point. Life matters. Fun matters. And we are invigorated, we are uplifted and richer for the contact that we have with each other than if we didn't have them. January and December is always an atrocious month. It's where the weather is dismal and miserable and rainy. And of course, we do tend to lose our loved ones during the winter because of the impact it has on the human condition. But we must always remember that it's darkest before dawn, and that dawn is just around the corner. Or, oh, hang on, you're all right. You got hooked, love. There you go. You're fine. And we must always help out our fellow animal kingdom too when they get snaffled up with their lead. It is always darkest before dawn. Even when Dawn is just round the corner or coming over from Colchester, she's always only just round the corner. But it is about coming together and supporting each other. And every day, no matter what it is that I do, whether it's an online circle or a chit-chat at tea time with Reverend Tony, or coming here on a Thursday night, the most important thing that I see is that connectivity, that communion, that community that is shared by each and every person here. It's not just on a Thursday night, it's throughout the week. It's every day. So my friends, let us remember that if we can come together every single day, regardless of whether we're meeting on a Thursday night, we can celebrate life every day, regardless of what that date is. Because unity matters, community matters. And the way we come together matters. So be uplifted by the fact that you share the path together, because there is strength in numbers, and there is no darkness that a single candle cannot shine a light on. And there are many bright lights in this room right now and watching at home. So shine your light, be proud, be bold, and remember that every day is a special day. Celebrate life, and thank you for listening. And I mean it, if you ever see a little doggy get snaffled up in a bit of wood, you help them, regardless of what you're doing. Friends, we are now going to have our reading, which Eunice has prepared for us. And so now I will say, everyone, please welcome to the front, Eunice! Now, where am I going to plug you in? Here you go.
Right, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
We all have our problems. We all do our best We all try to help each other. This is not a test. We all need a cuddle. We all need that kind word. We all strive for that comfort, though not always heard. At least that's what it feels like at times when we're down. That smile has gone somewhere. We're left with a frown. Not all is lost. For the blink of an eye, everything changes. Then we ask why. Well, here is the answer. You just have to look. It's not without reason. It's not from a book. It's from that life that surrounds us, the warmth and the love we must share with each other with the help from above.
On 4, right? Yeah. I can imagine who helped you with that one. Beautiful. Thank you, Eunice. And it's good to see such a wonderful parallel as well. It was excellent. So spirit input is definitely on the 4. And of course it wants to be, because we're going to do some healing now. And so I'm going to shut my mouth, sit down and hand over to Tony, who's going to lead in healing, and he can explain how we're going to do it, what we're going to do, and then I can be ready to push a button and run should I need to do so. So friends, welcome Tony.
Oh, thank you. Just as big a problem. Oh, good evening all. Simple answer is, if you'd like some healing, raise your hand. 1, 2, 2. Oh, that's fine. Healers, you know where to go. If you'd like to give some healing, we just need 2. There we go. Thank you. Just a few words before, or as those guys get themselves sorted out. For those of us that enjoy this way of life, there are some things that are important. Love, light, enlightenment, and giving healing. And healing is only as good as the people that are there. And the more people that are here, the stronger and the better the healing will be. So please, Great Spirit, pass your power down through our healers and heal these people that need it. Thank you, healers, if you can bring yourselves back. And as I say every week, thank you to those of you who asked, because it's not the easiest thing to do.
Well done. Thank you to Tony and thank you to our healers. He's absolutely right. In actual fact, I think it's one of the little insert quotes in the healing book that asking is just important as giving. So thank you, one and all. And didn't they change mood when their healing started? Bless them. See, they agree. Oh, wonderful. Animals are very, very good at noticing spirit. Anyone who's been involved in a circle where animals have been around, I was very lucky that in my first circle that I developed in, there were 2 dogs. One of them was always calm and well-behaved, Crystal, bless her heart. Rosie was a little bit more active. But when the work began, they would both sit and go calm. The only time I've ever seen a dog get really excitable during a circle was I was once giving a guided meditation. He knows where I'm going with this one. I was once giving a guided meditation, and I told those that were visualizing that they should feel a splash of water upon their face. And just as I said that, one of Daryl's dogs licked him round the choppers. So at least he got the 3D effect. But that is animals for you. They do know what's going on because they have not been trained to forget how to be a medium like humans are. It is a natural gift that is open to everyone. And of course, to demonstrate and prove that tonight is our guest medium, the lovely Daniel Wright. Should he come to you, please answer in a clear voice, yes, no, or don't know. And I can't do this anymore. Should the lights start flickering or the curtains start twitching, no, we're all right. You can follow me. I'll be the first one out. But do have a truly uplifting evening. Send your love to Daniel throughout. And so please welcome one and all our friend Daniel Wright. Have a good one, Chief.
Okay.
And it's to you.
Good evening, friends. Nice to be here. If I come to you, please have an open mind. Please don't concentrate on a loved one you wish to hear from. I don't have the power to say they've got to come. If they want to come, they come. And if your mum or your dad or your nan or your granddad fans of Coronation Street or EastEnders, it's a nightmare to get them to come away from that. But it's not always nan and dad and mum and granddad. It's not always family that come through. It can be absolutely anyone. Friends, best friends, school friends, work friends. Someone you've met in a supermarket, an old tramp you give 50 pence to for a cup of tea. Anyone you've ever met in your life can come through. And it's almost impossible to remember every single person you've ever met. I can't remember who I met yesterday, so going back years, it takes some doing sometimes. But also, sometimes we get people coming through who you may have absolutely hated. These people do come through now and again, but they come through with love. There's no such thing as hatred in the spirit world. They work on a love vibration, and anyone that comes through is on a love vibration. So never be scared of anyone from the spirit world. They won't do you no harm. If you don't want me to carry on, I'll respect that. I shall ask them to step back and let someone else in. It's not a problem for me. We just carry on. But never be scared of anyone from the spirit world. They won't hurt you. And one last thing, if I go to someone, sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 different people coming in for that person. You might have to sort them out who they are. Okay? I'm not sure I'm going with at the moment. No, come to the lady taking money with the bottle. Is it a bottle? Okay, can I come to you? Okay, I've got a man in the spirit world coming through. As he comes through, I don't see him as a tall man, don't see him as tall as me, maybe about 5'9", 5'10". A man who always seemed to be smiling, always had a happy condition with him. Can you take a man like that? Okay, possibly I'll take that as a yes. Okay. A man who will always try to encourage people, encourage you. If you said, I want you to do this, I want you to do that, he would never say, oh no, you can't do that. His attitude will be, well, if you want to go and do it, go and do it, do the best you can. If you want help, if I can help you, I'll help you. Does that make sense with him? Okay, I've got to give you Derek as a name. You can't always remember names. No one can remember every single name they've ever met. But old Derek, Elizabeth or Betty, I've got to give you. But old, it doesn't have to be family. Don't think just family. It's got to be outside of family sometime. He's also talking about around him, it would be transport. He either worked with transport or he drove transport. Or it would be a connection with transport. And I'm seeing small lorries. I'm not seeing great big articulators. I'm just seeing small lorries here. Does that make sense? Okay. And the lorries are red. I'm seeing a red lorry. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. I've got Albert. I've got to give you an Albert. I know that's an old name. It might be Bert or El or something a bit. You give me Albert. But I feel this man, as I feel towards the end of his life, he would have walked with a limp. There would have been something wrong. It would have been a limp with him. Okay? I also feel he never lived to be a very old man. And I mean in his 80s or 90s. No, I just feel he didn't do that. Okay? I also feel with him when he passed, it's as though he had been ill for several weeks before he actually passed the spirit. But he knew that he wasn't going to recover. Does that make sense? He knew that the illness was there, that was his time of going to spirit. I also feel with him that he accepted that. He didn't try to fight it in any way. He just accepted it. And any business he had with his family, he sorted all that out and make sure after he passed to spirit, all his details around him were okay and already sorted. Does that make sense? Okay, I just feel he wasn't the world's best organizer, but he did organize everything after his passing. Okay. He would be a very smart man when he went out. And so if you saw him work, it's completely different to when you saw him going out. And he would be in the habit of wearing a tie. Okay? It would be, would he have made a visit to a social club or workers club or service club or something? Farmers club? Does that make sense? And so he would have gone somewhere for a social evening. Okay, older. It's just so. I don't say he's an heavy drinker, but I feel he would have had a drink just to be social. Okay. Also, would there be a daughter around him? Would there be a daughter on the earth plane and a daughter in the spirit world? Okay, he's talking about one in the. You haven't got a daughter in the spirit world. Okay, I should feel somewhere. If you ask, there might be a daughter in the spirit world. Okay. I also feel within that he was very well read, and you could have a conversation with him on almost anything. Okay. He said, "Yeah, I like to keep up." He said, "But I wouldn't get into arguments. If people thought they had to do this, they had to do it, I should just walk away and let them get on with it." He said, I didn't want the arguments. I'm going to ask him why he's come. Are you counting the way? Are you counting the days off or something? Are you ticking days off? Does that make sense? Okay, I've just had that in. We're talking about ticking the days off. Okay, I'm going to ask him why he's come. He's saying with you, he says, heads up, there's only one way to go is forward. If you can take that, he said, no, heads up, he said, never mind what other people are saying, never mind what they think, never mind what they want you to do. You know the right thing to do. Go and do it. You don't have to answer to anyone. Does that make sense? It's your future, it's your life. You do what you want to do. But on the same thing is, you also have to be responsible for your actions. Okay, he said, but nevertheless, do what you think you should be doing. It's all right for other people to say they're going to do this, they want to do that, you should do that, but they're not walking in your shoes. And they never have walked in your shoes. Does that make sense? You see, your life has been up and down, and you've been down so many times, but you've always managed to get up. You see, that's the main thing, getting up. Don't let anybody ever hold you down. And walk away from those people that try to dictate to you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. Does that make sense? You see, you've had all that, you've been through that. You're a big girl now, you know your own mind. I just feel this man had a nice way of talking to people, that he would put a lot of confidence into people. Does that make sense? Okay, just one more thing with him. Are you thinking of booking a few days already? He said, but you've not done it yet. He said, you look at the brochures, you ain't done it yet. You know what one you want, go and do it. Go and do it, even if it's only for 2 or 3 days. Have that break away, okay? You've got a cat. Oh, he's talking about a cat, okay? Okay, he's giving you a cat. One last thing, he's also talking about someone's got a car around you, it's not taxed or needs taxing. He said, get it done. Get it done, okay? If it's not you, whoever it is, they need to get it done. You see, in this day and age, it's not worth taking the chance, okay? And like, I really love you. Thank you for working with me, okay? I'm going to come to the lady in the middle. Can I come to you? Yeah? Okay, don't look surprised. Okay? Oh, the lady coming in, as she comes in, I feel this lady will be the next generation up. Would be your mother in spirit world. Okay, I just feel this lady, I just feel with her that a lady who lots of cuddles with her. Okay? A lady would really care about her children. Does that make, if it's wrong, please tell me. Okay, I said I do get 2 or 3. I just feel this lady was like a mother hen with her little chicks. Okay, does that make sense? Okay. But I also feel when the chicks got older, or when the children got older, she could be very controlling as well. Does that make sense? She's saying, you know, it was one mistake. She said, I learned the hard way. You can't dictate to people all the time. Oh, Phil, this lady, let's give you Sally as a name. Doesn't have to be family. You can go back to old Sally. Sometimes when we're more relaxed, the names start coming in. Okay, I've got to give you Henry as a name, or Harry as a name. I've got also Boris. Can you take a Boris? Let's just put Boris in my pond. I know nobody wants Boris, but can you take a Boris? Dog. Okay, that's fine. That's good. Yeah. You know, just give you names. You know, what's it? So Boris thinks that's a good. Okay. I also feel with later as she comes in, I just feel with her towards her life, was she been forgetful? Okay. And I feel the older she got, the worse it got. Okay, and there were serious concerns about whether she should be in a care home or something. Does that make sense? Talking about a care. Okay, okay. I also feel with her, she was someone who come from a big family. Okay, she's talking about it. But a lady who, I don't know how far but she's going, but she used to do a lot of washing. Yeah, in the family, does that make sense? But it's as though she's showing me she had done her washing in a big bath or a big bungalow bath or a bath like that. Okay, that's it, that's it, yeah, fine. That's the link, okay. She's also talking about that she would be someone who, Edwina, I've got to give you an Edwina. Okay, older names. Like I said, when you're more relaxed, they come in. She's also, I also feel this lady that she would have done a lot of darning. Because people don't do darning now, do they? Darning, yeah. She's showing me darning with the little wooden things. She's showing me that they do darning with her. I also feel she would have loved her bingo. Talking about bingo. Do you love bingo? Do you know? She's talking about bingo, so I don't know why she's giving me bingo, but hold that anyway. She's also, I've got to give you Terry as her name. Okay, as long as you can take it, that's all right. Just if you can take it, that's okay. You know, you don't have to make an excuse or anything. It's just throwing names at you. That's all. I also feel this lady, she would be someone who was she looked after children at one time?
She loved children. She wanted to be a teacher.
Okay, because she's showing me as though she would have been a nanny. I've got this as though she would have been a nanny, looking after babies and young children. Okay, that's fine. Okay, okay. I'm going to ask her why she's come. It's talking with you, it's about you that you need to sit down and get yourself organised. Does that make sense? You say you get organised, you say make life a lot easier for you. Oh, well, it must be, you know, you okay, but she's saying maybe what I want you to do is just get organised, make life easier for yourself. You see, you take too much on board, you worry too much. Just let a lot of the, and she's saying this as well, let a lot of the rubbish just go over your head. People throw it to you because they know you're going to catch it. You've got to let it pass, okay? She's talking about you've got a young man in spirit somewhere. Talking about the young man in spirit. A young boy about 14, 15. Okay, okay. It doesn't have to be family. It could be friends or something, man. It's not always family. Okay, maybe that's one of them. She's talking about the young man. Okay. She's also talking about there would be. Who would have seen swans from their window? Okay, that's a memory for you. She's also talking about there would be out in the country picnics. Talking about the picnics, okay. And she's saying that in them days it was just fun. We didn't have the problems like they have today. That she said we were free and easy. We made our own fun, and we enjoyed life. And it's a say of someone around you at the moment is not enjoying their life as much as they should. And she's talking about someone younger. And she said, perhaps you might have to go out your way to help them on their path. Does that make sense? He says, no, something for you to do. But if they don't respond, don't worry about it. As long as you've done your best. You see, it depends on the person. If they don't respond, there's nothing you can do about it. As you say, as long as you've done your best. She's also talking about you that you've got some medical appointments. Somebody around you got a medical appointment. She's saying they mustn't miss it. They've got to do it. Okay. Someone got to give blood or have a blood test. Someone got to have a blood test or give blood or. But as I say, whatever it is, they mustn't miss it. It's got to be done. Okay. One last thing she's talking about with you that. Do you read women's magazines? Okay, now she's showing me a magazine. There's something in the magazine that's caught your eye. And she's saying, just find out more about it. There might be a little article on something, on health or something like that. And she said, just find out more about it. You see, no, you don't have to get too involved. It might interest you. There might be something in there that might link with you. Okay. One last thing she's saying to you is that do you want a puppy?
Do I want a puppy?
Yeah. You got 2 dogs.
What's a cat?
A cat. Now she's talking about a puppy. Nobody around you wants a puppy. She's talking about a puppy. I believe you're saying about a puppy coming into the house.
Someone's got a young dog.
Oh, right, okay, fine. And he comes into your house. Okay. Sometimes we don't quite hear the name, but that's good enough for me. He comes into your house. Okay. And one last thing she's talking about with you is though you need to write things down so you don't forget them. You make sure you write them down. She said, nothing wrong with you. She said, but it's easy. Just write it down. You know, you don't have to worry about it. But okay, that makes sense. Okay. I'm going to live a lovely thing. Thank you for working with me. Okay. Come to the front. I come here. Okay, I got a man coming through. As his man comes through, I just feel with him, about 6 foot. A little bit overweight, not much overweight. A man who would be very, if he spoke to you, he would be very point blank in his opinions. Does that make sense? Yes. I'm not saying he would talk down to you or nothing like that. He would make his opinion very plain, as though you wouldn't miss what he meant. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm not saying that he will force his opinions onto you. I don't think he would. I just feel that he will say, that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to that. Does that make sense? Okay. Would there be in the family or with this man links with the Royal Air Force? Would you live near an airfield? It's showing me planes taking on and off. Okay, so I take it someone lived near an airfield then. Okay. He's also talking about that he would be someone who. Well, this man. Well, did you take a teacher? He might have been. It's so he's teaching children arithmetic and things like that. Unless he was very good at arithmetic. Well, he may have been like an accountant or something. Does that make sense? He's showing me arithmetic. He's also showing me that he would have loved music. And I'm talking about old music. 60s. Yeah. Rock and roll 60s stuff music. Chuck Berry stuff music. Does that make sense? That's what he's showing me. Okay. He also showing me that he would be someone who would like sports. And boxing would be one of those sports. I'm not saying he'd done boxing. I think he would have watched boxing or he's showing me boxing. I'll leave that with you anyway, okay? But I just feel this man would be someone who would encourage you. If you had a dream, he will try to encourage you to go for that dream, okay? And I'm not saying that he would push you that much, but he would say, you've got to go for it, you've got to work towards it. I also feel with him that he would, was this man left-handed? Both. I'll give my right arm to do that. But it's showing me writing with his left hand. If you can take that, okay. Also feel this man, I'm not saying he's the greatest artist or the greatest drawer, but I just feel there's drawing or artwork with him. Or is that with you? Okay, it's just showing me drawing. I'm not saying, like I said, they're not Michelangelo's or anything like that. But he's saying, bear with it. Okay? I also feel this man, as he feel when he passed the spirit, I feel he was in his late 70s, early 80s. Yes. Okay? I also feel that there was, I'm not saying he passed the spirit with this, but there would be chest problems, breathing problems with him. Or there asthma with him. Or have you got asthma? Okay, he's talking about asthma. Okay, but I don't think that's why he passed. He's not telling me that's how he passed. Basically, he's saying it was age caught up with him. Okay. I also feel with him that he would be someone, 3 children around him. Okay, so I'm going to leave you 3, okay. So sometimes they give you one that might not have reached the earth plane, so I'll watch it. He's also talking about there would be, was he a vet or did he work near a vet or are you a vet? He showed me cows and things. Okay, that's why I asked about a vet. He did give me, as though he's going around farms and giving cattle injections and things like that. Okay, I'll hold that one. It might be someone around you. Okay, okay. I'm going to ask him why he's come. Was the man interested in old sports cars, old racing cars? Because he's talking about Brooklands. I don't know if he went to Brooklands, but he's showing me Brooklands and the curved track that's still there. Does that make sense? He's showing me that. Okay, I'm going to ask him why he's come. He's talking about you, there's changes coming around you, or you cited the changes. You said you've made some changes that needed to be done. He said, don't go back. Cite those changes, go with those changes at your speed. If you need to put them on mould, fine, but don't go back. Does that make sense? Yes. He said, no, it's your speed. If you want to do them as fast as you can, fine. But if you want to take your time, fine. But no returning. Okay? He's also talking about you've got an optician's appointment coming up. Okay, he's talking about opticians. Okay. But he's also talking about you. You've been doing a lot of writing lately, or you need to do some writing. Okay, he's talking about getting the pen and do that writing. And he's saying, don't give too much thought to it. Just start the writing, the words will come. You see, sometimes you're not too sure what to put and how to put it. Just start the writing, the words will come in the order they should be. Okay? He's also talking in you so that you started exercising? No. No, okay, so he's not saying you should. He's not saying you should, but he's not saying that. He's just talking about exercising. If it's not you, it's someone around you. Does that make sense? Okay, he's not saying you should. I'm more than that clear. He's not having a go at you or nothing. He just said, tell him about the exercising. So it might be walking the dogs, because that is an exercise, walking dogs. Okay. He's also talking to you. You bought a new suit, or you thinking of buying a new suit? Oh, right, talking about the new suit. Okay. But was you thinking of buying an hat with it? Was you going to buy an hat, or was you looking at hats? He showed me an hat, so what's it? He showed me the suit, and he showed me a hat. So whether you was thinking of buying it or not, I don't know. One last thing he talked to you about is that you know your path, you know where you want to go on your path. He said, don't rush it. Every step counts. Don't try and take too many steps at once. Does that make sense? He said, it's a beautiful journey. Don't try rushing it. It's got to be at your speed. Don't let no one rush you. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm going to leave him. Thank you for working with me. Okay. I can come. I'm terrible for names. That's one thing I can't. Since I was a small boy, I can't remember names. Can I come to the gentleman who's a healer? What's his name? Tony. Oh, I can't remember. My mum had to put my name in back in my coat so I could remember my own name. Okay. I have a lady in spirit, okay, coming through. And as this lady comes through, I just feel with her. I don't see her as a tall lady, but she's not a small lady. She's average height for a lady, or maybe just a little bit average height for a lady. As this lady, I don't see her any excess weight on her. I feel she's lean, slim. Can you take a lady like that? Pardon? Carry on. Okay. Who's the lady? With her, and so that, how can I put it? Outlook on life. I've got to give you fairies. Does that make sense? And so that she's everything. She looked at life on the very, very positive side of life, not the negative side of life, and everything was. She believed in fairies. I'm going to say that. Does that make sense? Okay, I just feel this lady, you just saying about the fairies. I feel fairies are very important to her. But the fairies were spelt the pagan way. It's not the normal spelling. Does that make sense? Okay, she's going to say, okay. I also feel that I just feel this lady had nothing but love for people. But that love wasn't always shown back. Okay? But she's saying that it did bother me a bit. But she's saying that I gave it out, and that was the main thing. It's not always about what you get back. I gave it out. Okay? A lady, I feel she passed the spirit before her time. Don't see her as a passing as an old lady. Maybe late 50s, early 60s. Okay? Also, I've got to give you Evelyn as a name. I'm not saying that's her name, but she's given me Evelyn as a name. Okay? She's also given me, I know it's a common name, John. She's given me John as a name. But she's also talking about there was she would read Colin Doyle, was it? The man that wrote Sherlock Holmes. But she wouldn't read Sherlock Holmes. She would read the other books he wrote. Because he wrote a lot of books on spiritualism, and he would read those books, not the detective books. Okay, but I just feel this. Like, I just feel with her that she's someone. I just feel. Would there have been a cancer with her when she passed the spirit?
Yeah.
Okay, breast cancer, lung cancer. Okay, but I just feel she lived like. I don't think she had a bad word to say about anyone. She may have thought it, but I don't feel she would. Does that make sense? Okay, I just feel there's a lot of love for people with her. And she said, I realised I was misunderstood, but I didn't care. It was me. I weren't going to change. That was me. I also will give you Alison as a name. Okay, like I said, we can't remember every name we've ever met. I can ask her why she's come. She's talking about, well, this lady had connections with a boat or canal bars or narrowboat. To show you water and living on water. Okay, I'm going to leave that because that might be a bit deep. But she means something else. I'm not getting it. Okay, but I asked her why she's come. Talking with you about that. You're definitely going in the right direction. But it's as though that you keep thinking back, whether if you're going back maybe 20 years, whether you made the right decision then. And she said, well, you're in the right, look at yourself, you're going in the right decision. Of course you made the right decision. Stop thinking about what could have been and what should have done. What should have been you're doing. Does that make sense? She's saying that you've got dreams of, I know you work here, but are you thinking of doing another centre somewhere?
Yes.
And she said, don't give them dreams up. She said, I know you're there. You see, it might not happen next week, it might not happen next month, but it's there for you. When the time is right, it will appear. But you should know that anyway. You're saying, you're, at the moment, you're beginning to have, how can I put it? You don't have doubts about spiritualism, but you have doubts about your own yourself. Does that make sense? Okay, as you say, why? You're doing everything you want to do. You can't do everything. No one can do everything, but you're doing everything you can do. Be proud of yourself. You help so many different people, and you help me. I won't forget that. You helped me, and of all the people who were around me at the time, you was the one that stood out. Does that make sense? She's saying you so much love, and she said we will see each other again, but you'll get your centre first. Be many years. Okay, I'm going to leave her love with you. This lady is sending you so much love. I'm going to leave her with you. Okay, thank you for working with me. Okay. Come to the lady on the thing. Can I come to you? You take a young man in spirit? Yeah. Early 20s? Yes, no. Doesn't have to be family. You can be friends. No? Yes, no? Okay, can anybody else take a young man in spirit at all? 20s, early 20s? Okay, I think I've been to you before, this young man. If I remember right, a long time ago. Okay. This young man, sudden passing, very sudden. Young man, very how can I put it? And so when the moment of his passing, the situation with him, he was very excited about something. Does that make sense? Does it make sense, lady? Okay, I just feel it, and it's as though that his excitement took his eye off the ball for a minute. A second, does that make sense? I must be with you, Nick. You take that at all? Okay, it's as though that. Okay, right, okay. Okay, okay. I will try and come back to you, right? Okay. I just feel, well, I've got to be honest, I don't generally go to chair people. Okay, not because of more respect to the other people and disrespect to anybody else. Right? Okay. It's as though he, in the heat of the moment, he just forgot where he was. And he's saying, I'll take full blame. It wasn't the other person's fault. Does that make sense? It wasn't. People try to blame them, but I wasn't at fault. Just for that split second. Okay, does that make sense? I'm gonna ask him why he's come. I've got to give you Roger as a name. Roger.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me Susan. I'll give you a Susan. And Ellie.
Yeah.
I'll give you Ellie. Okay, I'm going to ask him why he's come. He's talking about with you as though things are going to start to develop in a big way around you. He's not telling me exactly, but he said, you know, because you're trying to work things out, and at the moment it's not coming together. It will come together and it will grow. He said, but don't let it grow too big, because it'll be taken out of your hands. You see, it's not a question of you controlling it or nothing like that. It's a question of you keeping it small, calm. And he was in that small group, everybody gets a fair share. If it gets too big, some people get more share than others. Some might not even get a share. Does that make sense? He said, that's why you've got to keep it in as big as possible, but not too big. Does that make sense? Okay, I'm going to leave his love with you. Thank you for working with me. We'll come back to that later again. I'm not going to give up. Okay, pardon? Okay. Can you take the name Sandra?
Yeah.
Okay. Would be known as Sandy.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I've got at the moment. Just good. Okay, I've got a lady coming in. This lady, fairish hair, long hair. I don't know how old she is, but I feel she looked younger than what she really was. You take a lady like that. I don't see this lady overweight or nothing like that. But a lady who will be liked a little bit of gossip, but in a nice way. She wouldn't put people down. She'd talk about them, but in a nice way. You take a lady like that? I've got to give you Angela as well. Angie or Angela. Okay? This lady, I just feel, I don't see this lady as living to an old age. I feel late 40s, early 50s when she passed the spirit. You're not too sure, are you? You're not too sure?
No.
Okay, don't worry. I'm going to ask her, unless someone else can take this lady, I'm going to ask her something about you, what's going on in your life. Okay? She's talking about you, so someone's dumped something on you and you've got to sort the mess out. Does that make sense? It's as though you've got to make the decisions and all that. someone stood back and said, now you get on with it. Be careful. Because the person that's dumped it on you, if you make a mistake or do it wrong, they will be blaming you. So just either push it back to them, or if you want to sort it out, whatever it is, be very, very careful. Does that make sense? It's an issue. Someone's passing something. Someone's pushed the onus of something onto you to let you sort out. Does that make sense? You can't take that. Is there an issue you need to sort out? Does that make sense? Okay, fine. That's what she's talking about, an issue that needs sorted out. But is she saying, if you look back, that's been dumped onto you? You're saying, you know, the issue didn't concern you to begin with. You've been drawn into it. She's saying you could have walked away from it. Okay, that's what she's talking about. As though you've been, it's as though that you've been drawn into it and somebody else has walked away from it, left you with it. And that's what she's saying. If you want, just walk away yourself, but if you choose to sort it out, be ever so careful. Okay? She's also talking with you about, you've got a daughter? A birthday coming up? Talking about a birthday for a daughter. She's also talking about with you that are you thinking of moving? Okay, so it's as though you've been looking at all your rooms and things like that, but what can you do? How can you change it then? Can I change it? Or is it best to move and all that? She's saying you haven't made a decision yet. She said that before you do, just think, how can you improve your home? It might save you a lot of money. She's always talking about somebody around you going fishing. Is there London links with you as well? Yeah. She's talking about the London links. And she's talking about East End of London. Does that make sense? But isn't going back in the family? And I'll leave that with you. She's also talking with you about that there will be connections with Germany. There will be German connections somewhere. Have you been to Germany? No. Someone in the family or you? No. Pardon? Okay, that's good enough. That's a connection. Okay. She's also talking about with you as though she's saying that you're very fussy with your footwear. Does that make sense? Yeah. She say, you know, you see when you go to the shop, it's a nightmare because you never know what pair of shoes to pick. But she's laughing about that. She's about. But she also said to you is that at the moment you just open at something, you turn your life around so you could have more enjoyment. She said it's not a bad life, you're not miserable, nothing like that. But it's as though there's something missing in your life. And she's saying, don't rush that. When it comes, it comes. Don't rush it. Don't force it. It'll come, but in its time. Does that make sense? She's also talking with you. You've been getting a lot of back pain lately. Pardon? Okay. She's sending you healing for that. She's also talking about you that, do you do colouring? Books and things, crayons and things like that. Okay, so she's showing me doing that, okay. But she's saying with you, so you're looking for something new. And she's saying, just look around, what are you interested in? And take it a bit further, see how far you go. Test yourself. You see, you know, we put limits on ourselves where, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. So we never know until we really try. And she said, test yourself, take an interest in something. Is this new to you?
No.
Okay. You would want to find out more about it, though. Does that make sense? Because she's saying about spiritually and saying about, oh, you need to find out more on your limits yourself. She's saying that you hear things sometimes. Does that make yes or no? It's not a shame to say yes. We all hear things, you know. We won't be here if we didn't hear things. But she's saying, test yourself, dear. You know, test yourself. Don't rush it. It's something you just. How can I put it? No one can make you believe unless you know it yourself. You've got to see it to believe it yourself. Does that make sense? You're saying, well, you've seen it, you've heard it. Yeah. Take it a bit further, see where it takes you. Does that make sense? Okay. I know there's two little dogs here. You got a dog? Did you have a dog? Show me a black and brown dog. Sausage type dog. Okay, I'll leave that with you. It might be someone else. I'll leave that with you. But she's talking about that you've looked at a situation in the past and you're blaming yourself because it failed. Does that make sense? I'll leave that with what she's saying with that. You didn't fail. You've done your best. You was on different pages. Does that make sense? She said you was just on different pages. You didn't fail. You've done your best. Don't put yourself down for something you've never done. Stop putting yourself down that you think you're not this, you're not good enough, you're not that good enough. You are, and you need to go and prove it to yourself. You don't have to prove it to anybody else. It's you need to prove it to. Does that make sense? Okay, she's sending you a lot of love. I'm sorry you don't know who this lady is, but she seems to know you. I'm going to leave her a love with you. Thank you for working with me. Okay. So, thank you very much, everyone, for a nice evening. Sorry I couldn't come to everyone.
Just come and you do it very often. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Wright. And I think in relation to the last few sentences, there was a host of angels singing hallelujah. And certainly everyone on the back row was agreeing with you, if not everyone in the room. I do make a couple of notes, because especially if I get a reading, I do like to share some details. Bless his heart, that was my little mate David, who used to work for me down at the petrol station. Unfortunately, he passed on his birthday. And it was involving one vehicle and him. And he did get a little bit carried away at his birthday party. So your evidence was absolutely spot on. And I did do a quick Google. I did a quick Google. A Google. Oh, I've done it again. God's sake. Google. Conan Doyle obviously wrote about the Cottingley fairies as well. So I did write that one down as well because I did a Google. So there we are. But in the books it wasn't, but the pagan way was what meant it for that young man. And yes, we've been talking about what you were talking about for a long time. About time. So there we are. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Daniel. A quick reminder. Oh, hang on. Notes again. Yes, please, Barry. No, I mean it. I mean it. A quick reminder that there is, of course, the workshop on Sunday. It is £15. It does include lunch. It is in this hall, and it will be from 10:30 till 3:30. Thanks, mate. And so if anybody wants to book a place that hasn't already, just go see Mother. And a reminder, of course, that the lovely Emily Major is our medium next week. I've got my wrong glasses on so I can see you. Yeah, that is about it. Other than to say that one of the cutest things in the universe that I have ever seen is one dog leading another dog via its lead to back to do as mummy tells you kind of leading. I'm not sure where he was when they were having a bit of fun with Mandy and Jen's face, but that's another story for another day. And for the late night version of the memoirs. But thank you all so much for being here, for bringing upliftment, joy and laughter, certainly to me, but of course to each other. And I'm certain that world of spirit that's watching as well. Thank you to everyone who joins in, week out, watching us. It is wonderful that we have so many people that take part in this service, and they're not interested in getting a message because they know they're not going to get one the way the system works and the delay and everything. So the fact that you join from home every week is truly appreciated. To see proof of survival, to see that connection to spirit in action, it really, really does mean a lot, especially in this day and age. And of course, thank you to our healers who gave the healing. Thank you to Eunice and your guides and friends and helpers, and Alan who gave you that reading. There was just such a big sniff of him in it. It was wonderful, and I'm sure we all appreciated that as well. And thank you to Tony for leading the healing. Thank you to all of you for being here, being part of it. A reminder once again, should anybody want to come to the wake on the 31st, please, 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 we do need to know in advance, just so we can let Mandy know on numbers. Otherwise, she'll stand at the door with a big old Weetabix to smack you around the head and say no. And a big, of course, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Daniel Wright. Well, friends, now is the time in our service when we are going to have a closing prayer, and then we will have tea and coffee and, of course, the raffle. Because you can't close a Thursday night without a raffle. And we got some lit up candles. And this week's, my personal favourite is this week's Little Humorous raffle prize. An ice cube maker, an ice cube box. I just thought it was appropriate. It's next to the slippers and the oven gloves, but there you go. So it makes up for it. But you know, you might want to make some ice cubes. Something to suck on while you're watching Coronation Street reruns. Put a bit of fruit in them. But there we are. So friends, let us join together and close this evening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you truly for the opportunity to unite, to come together, to build a moment of love, laughter, upliftment and truth, to unite under your banner of love and hope and friendship, that we might come together in peace, in unity, in joy and in trust. As we go out into the world, let us take with us that joy, let us take with us that contact, and let us take with us that truth, to share with those that we meet, to meet those that we see, and share that wonderful message that life truly is eternal. And so I ask for a blessing to be placed on each person here present until we meet again in your name. Amen. And as Roger Wabbit would say, and that's a wrap. Once again, we will be back next week with the lovely Emily Major. And again, one final time, give a big thank you to Daniel Wright. We are going to have tea, coffee, biscuits, and a raffle. Thank you, young man. See, it's all well timed here, I've got to say. It's brilliant. We are going to have our tea and coffee and raffle. But, of course, it's time to say goodnight to our friends at home. And a thank you all for joining us. So after 3, 1, 2, 3, good night. And God bless you all. And we'll see you next week. As for everybody else, get your raffle ticket.